Hey guys, behind me you can see the Oztent SV5-Max. Let's talk about it. So guys, some of you may know that I've had the RV3 from Oztent, which I think is a fantastic tent. It is significantly smaller and significantly lighter than this one. This is the SV5-Max. It's the largest of the versions that they make, and it's pretty epic. It is amazing. They've changed a lot of the design in these. So the traditional RV tent, the RVs and the RV Pluses, they're all very square sort of in their approach. This one comes out. So the front of the tent, where you can see that second pole there, is about a foot wider than the back. So the further you go out, the wider it gets. So by the time you get to the front here, you've got an enormous opening. It's very, very nice. And then when you add the tarp extension that I've got on at the moment, I don't know if you can see, but there's a tarp extension up there. It's even wider. I'm going to go stand there and just show you what it looks like, because it's pretty impressive. I'm right at the corner here of the tarp extension. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 4 meters across, guys. This is massive. It's huge. And I've got these ones a little lower down because it's a bit windy today. But just check how much space you've got under here. And everything is undercover. It's fantastic. The way that I've got the tent set up right now is probably the kind of minimum I would recommend. So the way that I've got it now, it's basically just the tent with the rainfly, which I always recommend putting on, and the tarp extension. So that right there is probably how I'm going to use it most of the time. I do have the front and side walls as well, which we might put up tomorrow, but for tonight I think that's good enough for me. You guys saw the setup process. It is cumbersome if you're by yourself. It's not hard, it doesn't take very long, but it is a little bit more involved than my previous tent. What are my verdicts on this guy? If you need space, if you need large undercover area, if you want a nice big front view, you cannot beat this guy. You can't beat it. I do say though that in order to make the most of it, you have to have a roof rack on your car, or at least a trailer, because it's about 2.2 meters long. So that's not going to fit in your vehicle by no means. So put it on top or put it in a trailer. It's a fantastic piece of kit. It really is. Everything is pretty well thought out and well thought through. Now, one of the coolest features about this tent, the SV5-Max, is the back. The back of the tent has a massive window, which is brilliant for air circulation. But at the top there, on the roof, there's also a huge skylight. So if the weather's good and the sky's clear, open that thing up and you can stargaze to your heart's content. It's very good. But man, phenomenal design, phenomenal piece of kit. what I'll do now, I'm going to run you through, I'll walk you around the little tent, show you all the little bits and pieces, and I'll come back to you after that. Yep. Guys, so we're here at the back of the tent. Thought I'd run you through a couple of little bits and pieces here. Hope you can see this, but there is an enormous window at the back here. It's phenomenal. It is so nice and large, and lying under there you'll still be able to see out even with the rain fly on. I think it's amazing. Really, really good design. The other cool thing about this is it's got these little tabs to lift and pull the tent up and out a little bit. That just gives you a little bit more space in this little corner area here. And I'll show you on the inside that there's a support bar that runs from here to the other side. So it's really nice to sort of lift this up so you have a little bit more headroom if you decide to put your head on this side, or just more area for your bags and packing space. I think that's really, really, really cool. I just really want to mention the windows on this side. Well, it's mirrored on either side, but it's got really fine mesh on it, fantastic mesh, and it's got a storm flap on the inside. So I can't tell you what a godsend that is, because if it is raining or if you do want to just zip the windows up, you don't have to come outside the tent to do that. You can do it straight from the inside. It's absolutely amazing. A lot of the tents I've had in the past have had the storm flaps on the outside, and man, it's a pain. If it's raining, you got to go out, get wet, zip the thing up, and then go back inside. So bring your wet stuff in. I like that. I like that it's on the inside. It's a good design. Very, very cool. The rainfly comes with these little poles to sort of lift this corner up. So you've got a good sort of, 15-20 centimeters of gap between the rainfly and the tent. That's awesome in hot weather. It keeps the sort of direct sunlight off the tent, and it also lets air circulate in between. But in winter time it's great because it lets you keep the sort of warmer air in while keeping the cooler air on the outside. So I think that is a really, really good design as well. The poles sink right into the hole there, and it just keeps this thing really nice and tight. I like that a lot. This is kind of where everything happened. It's really, really awesome because these poles, the center pole and the two front poles, are included in this kit, in the SV5-Max kit. Now I don't have these at full extension just because I'm not going to be putting the front walls on tonight, but maybe tomorrow you'll have to put these at full extension to get the peaked panel in here. But it is very nice because you can sort of peak this top to help rain sort of just sleet off. I think that's a really, really good idea, good design. The rain just flows sort of back and out. I think it's great. Works really well. And you can tighten these up, and it gives you so much space under here. It's incredible. Just look at this. Now, I'm not a tall person by any stretch of the imagination, but even for me, like, this feels like a cathedral. It's huge. It's so much bigger than the RV3, and even than the RV4. This is absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, it's the biggest tent that they make, and it really shows. It really does. Now, and I just want to point out that there's these little windows here. Sorry, there's a boat going past. I don't know if you guys have ever had a canvas or a solid material tent, which is what this is made of, but they are very, very prone to condensation on the inside. It is a little bit of an issue because that condensation can mold, especially if you pack it up, the next morning and you're ready to leave. You don't give the tent to completely dry out. That condensation can become a problem. So Oztent have put these little windows in here. Those little windows are incredibly effective at reducing the amount of condensation that you get on the inside of the tent. It is actually phenomenally effective. We've never had condensation on the inside here, and that's saying something. It's a really, really, really good feature. The other thing I really like about this is it's a T-zip. So it zips from the bottom. You can get in and out, but you can also zip this up all the way. It's really nice. A lot of the tents that I've had in the past have had peaked fronts or indented fronts, and it's just a pain to get in and out of them. This thing is super easy. It's completely horizontal, completely vertical, and super easy to get in and out of, super easy to close up, and I like that a lot. Just close this up again. Wicked. And as you can see at the bottom here, It's a full PVC bathtub floor, so you're not going to get any water running into your tent or any sort of liquids sitting and pooling at the bottom. That's great. I really like that. It's a little bit of peace of mind. Phenomenal. Really, really good. Alright, let's go on the inside. I'll show you what it looks like in there. As you can tell, it's massive in here. It really is. Now, I don't have anything in here at the moment. I'll show you a little later what that all looks like. But it's huge. There's so much space. And even right at the back here, over this crossbar, there is ample head height. So you could have a person sleeping there, another one, another one, another. You can like sardine this thing in all the way, and you won't have an issue. And like I mentioned, this back window is brilliant. It's really, really nice. I don't know if you can see all the way up here, but the mesh panel is actually open at the moment. So there's a beautiful skylight at the top here. You've got these wonderful bags to store things in. Like this one has got sort of plastic, so you can put an iPad or a tablet in there and sort of watch your stuff. It's brilliant. I like it a lot. Guys, I really do. This is a phenomenal tent. But like I said before, this thing is not light. It's not small. If you can accommodate this tent in your vehicle, it's very, very hard to go wrong. It is very hard to go wrong with this. Ample space, polycotton canvas construction, aluminium frame. I love it. I don't think you can beat this. I really don't. For the money that you're going to spend on this tent, it really does show where that money goes. Everything is really high quality, all double stitched, all seam taped. Fantastic quality unit. I like it a lot. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. It's Andre from the Midweek Escape Artist, and I am going to have an epic solo camp tonight. I'm going to be testing this guy out. It's meant to get quite cold tonight, so I'll see what the temperature does without the walls and everything up. But as far as I'm concerned right now, this tent is incredible. We've used it a couple of times. Tonight's the first time I'm using it by myself, so a little bit of luxury for me. But yeah, I'll sign off. I'll show you guys a couple of clips of how the camp goes tonight. But in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you like this sort of content, please consider subscribing. It helps out the channel more than you know. I know a lot of people say that, but really for small channels, that little subscription and the bell icon, ooh, makes me happy. Please do it, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you for the next one. Yay!